Mr. Trudeau, you are a disgrace for any democracy. Please spare us your presence.
Another trip to Europe is not going very well for Justin Trudeau. European MPs blasted Trudeau for violating the rights of Canadians. Here's one member of European Parliament from Croatia calling Justin Trudeau a dictator to his face. For those who haven't seen it, I'll play the clip and read the subtitles. He says, "Dear colleagues, dear citizens, Prime Minister Trudeau, freedom, the right to choose, the right to life, the right to health, the right to work, for many of us, are fundamental human rights, for which millions of citizens of Europe and the world have laid down their lives. To defend our rights and the rights of our children, which we have acquired over the centuries, many of us, including myself, are willing to risk our own freedom and our own lives. Unfortunately, today, there are those among us who trample on these fundamental values. Canada, once a symbol of the modern world, has become a symbol of civil rights violations under your quasi-liberal boot in recent months. We watched how you trample women with horses, how you block the bank accounts of single parents so that they can't even pay their children's education and medicine, that they can't pay utilities, mortgages for their homes. To you, these may be liberal methods. For many citizens of the world, it is a dictatorship of the worst kind. Rest assured that the citizens of the world united can stop any regime that wants to destroy the freedom of its citizens, either by bombs or harmful pharmaceutical products. Thank you. Other parliamentarians shared similar sentiments towards Trudeau, including Christine Anderson, who said that Trudeau shouldn't be allowed to speak to the European Parliament over the handling of the Freedom Convoy, calling him, quote, a disgrace for any democracy.
I will now give the floor to Ms. Christine Anderson for her point.
Thank you. Based on Article 195, out that it would have been more appropriate for Mr. Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, to address this House according to Article 144, an article which was specifically designed to debate violations of human rights, democracy and the rule of law, which is clearly the case with Mr. Trudeau. Then again, a Prime Minister who openly admires the Chinese basic dictatorship, who tramples on fundamental rights by persecuting and criminalizing his own citizens as terrorists just because they dared to stand up to his perverted concept of democracy, should not be allowed to speak in this House at all. Mr. Trudeau, you are a disgrace for any democracy. Please spare us your presence. Thank you.
Another member of European Parliament from Romania refused to attend the meeting because of Trudeau. In a Facebook post, he said that Trudeau can't come and teach democracy lessons to Putin from the European Parliament when you trample with horse hooves your own citizens who are demanding their fundamental rights be respected. The difference between democracy and tyranny is not determined by the geographical location of political leaders, but by the values they promote.
And with the Prime Minister of Canada, the way he's behaving right now, he's exactly like a tyrant, like a dictator. He's like Ceausescu in Romania. If even you doubt, if you raise doubts about the vaccines, you're outcasted. What's the difference between what he does and what happened under the Inquisition? See, on one side they say, well, we should not believe in God, but on the other side they say, believe in science. We don't have to. Science is not about belief. Science is about measurements, conclusions, hypotheses, and arguments. We got to a point right now where even if you say something, if you raise any doubts, you're already considered, as whatever, you know, they label you in very different ways. This is not okay. And I have to tell you, you know, that when I saw the protest in Canada, you know, the way the truckers over there reacted, you know, I got in touch with some of them, others contacted me, I congratulated them, and I want to use this opportunity to thank them. And I hope this movement for freedom and for rights is spreading all around the world. Because at the end of the day, we have to make sure that all these elected officials, they understand that they were elected in those offices to work for the people, not to behave like masters of slaves. Thank you.
A German MEP also blasted Trudeau, stating he valued democracy highly and welcoming Trudeau is, quote, an invitation to someone who has been trampling on democratic rights.
President, honourable members, we keep discussing here our European democratic values that underpin all of our actions. I worked in Syria and Pakistan for many years as a diplomat and therefore value democracy very highly. Now, the invitation to Canadian PM Justin Trudeau is an invitation to someone who's been trampling on democratic rights, who's been cracking down on people who protested against disproportionate corona measures, peoples who were supporting a non-sanctioned movement coming under criticism. So clearly the values of democracy are being despised by this individual. Let us not give someone like this any speaking time in this house of democracy.
Please leave a comment and tell me what you think about this latest update. If you could give this video a thumbs up, remember to click the like button, that's greatly appreciated, and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. As usual, thank you very much, everyone who has been supporting this channel with your donations over at Patreon or PayPal, and with your super chats as well. That's greatly appreciated. Even just a few dollars makes a huge difference and helps me keep talking about these important issues. You can find either link down in the video description where you can support this channel directly, patreon.com/realityreader or paypal.me/realityreader. And once again, with all the censorship happening here at YouTube, I'll remind everyone it's probably a good idea to find me on some alternative platforms as well. The best place where you can find me is superu.net. That's super, the letter u.net. You can also find me at odyssey.com. I will follow up soon. Thanks again.